What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video I want to take you guys along on a job that we recently completed for a customer of ours. This is actually a part 2 video. The previous video is the last upload that I had, and I'm actually going to put a link to that video in the description box below if you guys want to check that out. So we were actually called back to remove the carpet for the customer, and as you guys can tell, the customer had a good amount of personal items in the basement. So the way we decided to work it was start in one corner, cut a small area out, and then clean it, sweep it, mop it, and then put things in that clean area and then keep going. And that worked out pretty well. We had 4 guys with us that day, so we had one guy that was constantly cutting, 2 people were moving, and 1 was actually taking out the garbage. So that worked out pretty well. It was a bigger size basement, but like I said, because we had kind of a structure and a plan, it went actually pretty quickly. So this carpet was actually glued down, but it was actually coming up pretty easily because it was sitting in water for a few hours. We actually brought this tool that helps us scrape up the carpet, but we ended up not even having to use it because, as you could see, we were just cutting it and ripping up the carpet, and it was coming up pretty easily. As far as taking it out, instead of just cutting it and taking it out as one big piece, we actually have this twine that we roll the carpet up and tie it with. It makes it a lot easier to handle when we're cutting the carpet. We also want to make sure that it's able to fit in our dumpster, so we make sure it's not any longer than 3 feet. In a few of the clips you actually see us folding the carpet and then rolling it. That's just to make our lives easier when we're actually dumping everything at our office. This job took us about 6 hours. We did have 4 guys, but like I said, having a plan really helped us out a lot. There was a lot of personal contents, but we also had kind of an assembly line. We'd clean one area and then leave 2 guys in the clean area, and then the other 2 guys would bring the contents to them, and it made life a little bit easier that way. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you made it this far, today's word of the day is going to be stay sharp, and I actually have a story that I want to tell about how I chose that word of the day. But before I do that, I just want to give a big shout out to Tim and Sarah for commenting the word of the day below in the previous video. Thank you guys so much for doing that and supporting the channel. As far as today's word of the day, stay sharp. My dad actually told me this story while we were working this job, and so here's how it goes. There's an older man and a younger man, and the younger man challenges the older man to cutting trees down, and the younger man would smack talk the older man and say, I can cut down way more trees than you, and he wanted to challenge him. So they set up this thing. They were in a small town, so the whole town heard about it, and the day they decided to do it, everybody gathered from the town and kind of was cheering everybody on. And the story goes that the young man started chopping away, and he was working like a madman, and every once in a while he'd look over at the older man, and the older man would not be cutting trees down. It would look like he was just sitting down and taking a break. And that was motivation for the younger man to keep working harder and try and surpass the older man. So they were cutting trees for a few hours, and at the end of it, the younger man came up and said, oh, I bet I cut way more trees than you, and this and that. And they counted them, and it turns out that the older man cut way more trees down than him. And the younger man was like, how is that possible? Because I didn't stop working, and whenever I looked over, you were sitting down. The older man told him, every time I was sitting down, I would sharpen my blade. So the point of the story is, it doesn't matter how hard you work, if you don't work smart, it won't pay off. So the idea was, every time the older man would take a break, he was actually sharpening his knife and was able to cut down a lot more trees in a lot less time. So that's how I came up with the word of the day in today's video. So it's stay sharp. Make sure you guys comment that down below, and I will be sure to shout you guys out in the next video. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys are enjoying these time-lapse videos, please go ahead and let me know in the comments section down below, and I would really appreciate that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and don't forget to stay smart and hustle hard. I'll see you guys in the next video.